Fine, we'll go ahead with problem number 10. Now this problem number 10 is a little easy because you don't have much calculation in this problem. So I'll read out the question once. See, the BAD Limited went into voluntary liquidation on 31/12/2015 and its position on that date is given. You have 4,000, 8% preference shares of 10 each, 40,000. You have also arrears of dividend for 1 year. Okay, 8,000 equity shares of 10 each, but they have paid only 6 and it is 48,000, and you have only one class of equity shareholders. Unlike other problems, you don't have class 2 or class 3. There is only one class of equity shares. P&L account is given 6,000, general reserve is given 28,000. So these two is something different that is there in the problem which was not there in the previous problems. Okay, so P&L account and general reserve, these two should not be considered in your problem at all. Okay, it is given just for your information, so do not consider it in your problem. All the assets realized 1,36,000, unsecured creditors 20,000, in that 2,400 belongs to preferential creditors. Next you have liquidator is entitled to a remuneration of 4% on the assets realized and 2% on the amount distributed to unsecured creditors. Expense of liquidation is 2,960. Preference shareholders have preferential right as to capital and dividend. They also have the right to receive 1/4 of the surplus which is remaining after repaying the equity share capital. Okay, 1/4 of the surplus remaining after repaying the equity share capital. I'll tell you how you have to do this particular statement. Fine, we'll start with the problem. So it is problem number 10. Liquidator's final statement of accounts. Okay, so I usually start with cash in hand, cash at bank. There is no cash in hand, cash at bank, so I'm not writing it. Then we write the surplus from secured creditors. Since you don't have surplus from secured creditors also, I'm writing assets realized. Okay, two assets realized, they have given 1,36,000. Okay, next under the payment side we write liquidation expense and we write legal charges. There is no legal charges, you only have liquidation expense which is 2,960. Then I write liquidators remuneration. So here you have two percentages given. One is at 4% and the other one is at 2%. Okay, so we'll do the remuneration calculation. This working note is for liquidators remuneration. Okay, so first one at 4% on assets realized. Assets realized is 1,36,000. So 1,36,000, 4% will give you 5,440. So here I am writing 5,440. Fine. Next is at 2%. At 2% on unsecured creditors. So what should you do? You have to compare two amount. One is actual available balance in the problem and what is the amount given in the question. Okay, we are comparing these two. Amount given in the question, they have told unsecured creditor is 20,000. Remember, you should always consider your preferential creditors also. Okay, so since 2,400 is included in 20,000, I'm straight away writing 20,000. How do you find out your actual balance? Same formula, receipts minus payment. Under your receipts you have 1,36,000 minus under your payment you have 2,960 and you have 5,440. You don't have any other items. So 1,36,000 minus 2,960 minus 5,440, you get 1,27,600. So compare these two. Actual available means I have enough of money with me and I am supposed to give on 20,000, so I am using first formula. Okay, if there is enough of amount available in the problem, we use first formula. If in case this was 15,000 or if this was 18,000, that time I would have taken second formula. But since this is greater than the actual amount of 20,000, I am using first formula. So what is your first formula? Remuneration is equal to amount payable to the unsecured creditors, which is 20,000, into percentage of remuneration, that is 2%. So 20,000 into 2% will give you 400. Okay. So here I am writing 2% 400 as a remuneration. Next, according to your format comes debenture holders, but there is no debenture holders in the problem, so I am writing preferential creditors. Preferential creditors, they have told it is 2,400. Then I write unsecured creditors. So before you write unsecured creditors, check whether you have that much of amount or not. Okay, unsecured creditors given is 20,000. Out of 20,000, 2,400 belongs to preferential creditors. So actual unsecured creditor is 17,600. Check whether you have 17,600. If you have 17,600 enough, then you can write. If you don't have, then we write this as a balancing figure. How do you check? Receipts minus payment. So same thing, 1,36,000 minus 2,960 minus 5,440 minus 400 minus 2,400. You have 1,24,800. So I have enough of balance. So I am writing 17,400 for unsecured creditors. Okay. Sorry, 17,600. 20,000 minus 2,400, 17,600. Next, as per the format, it comes preference shareholders, where I am supposed to write the capital. Okay. So when I had minus your receipts minus payment, before writing unsecured creditors, I had 1,24,800. Now I have written 17,600. So minus 17,600. Okay. I still have 1,07,200 and preference share capital given is 40,000. So I am writing 40,000 here because I have 1,07,200. So I am writing 40,000 for preference shareholders. Once you are done with your preference shareholders capital, I have to write the dividend. Okay. Dividend percentage is 8%. So 40,000, 8% will give you 3,200. So I am writing 3,200. But please check, I had 1,07,200. Now I have written 40,000. So minus 40. I still have 67,200. And now I can give dividend of 3,200. That is 40,000, 8%. Okay. So I had 67,200. Now I have written 3,200. So I still have 64,000. So after preference shareholders, whom do you write? We write equity shareholders. And here we have only one class of equity shareholders. So how do? We take the receipts, we minus all the payment. Whatever is the available balance, we write it as balancing figure and we close the problem. Okay. But please check, equity shareholders, the capital that we are supposed to write, which is given in the question, is only 48,000. Okay. But here the available balance is 64,000. So I have enough of money. So I am writing 48,000 only. So I had 64,000. Now I have written 48,000. So how much is still remaining? Still remaining is 16,000. Whatever remaining you have got, that I am going to call it as my surplus. Okay. So this surplus should be distributed to the shareholders. Which shareholders? Preference as well as equity. But first you have to give for the preference shareholders. So that is the meaning of this sentence. They have also right to receive 1/4 of the surplus which is remaining after repaying the equity share capital. Correct? After repaying the equity share capital of 48,000, we still have 16,000 in hand. That 16,000 is called as surplus. So that surplus should be allocated as 1/4 for the preference shareholders, they means preference, okay. So preference shareholders, they have right to receive 1/4 of the 16,000. I hope it is clear to all, okay. Now what did I do in this problem? We started with receipts, then we wrote all the payment up till your unsecured creditors. I hope everybody is clear. After this, check whether you have enough of money to write 40,000. I had enough of money. How do you check? Receipts minus payment. So I had more money, so I have written 40,000. Then again check whether you have enough money to write dividend of 3,200. Again take the total of your receipts minus the payment. So you had enough of money, so I have written 3,200. Again check whether you have available balance, that is receipts minus payment. I had more money, so I have written equity share capital 48,000. If I did not have 48,000, I would have written it as balancing figure, and whatever remaining balance was there, that I would have given for equity shareholders. But in this problem, I have more than 48,000, so I am giving equity shareholders 48,000. Even after doing this, when you take your receipts minus payment, you still get 16,000 as a remaining balance. That 16,000 is called as my surplus. Now how do you give the 16,000? To whom do you give this 16,000? Now I am just writing here, okay. This 16,000 should first be given to your preference shareholders. In what ratio? In the ratio of 1/4. They have already given in the problem, okay. Surplus should be given to preference shareholders in the ratio of 1/4. So 16,000 into 1/4 will give me 4,000. So the balance will go to whom? The balance will go to equity shareholders. What is the balance? 16,000 minus 4,000. So the balance of 12,000 will go to the equity shareholders. So now when you tally both the side, you will get 1,36,000. Problem is very simple. Here you don't have balancing figure. Here the company is having enough of money, okay. Even after making the payment to unsecured creditors, even after making the payment to preference shareholders, even after giving for dividend, even after giving for equity shareholders, you still have 16,000 more in the company. What do you do with the surplus 16,000? They have told 1/4 you give it for preference shareholders. So 4,000 I have given for preference. 16 minus 4 is 12,000. To whom do you give? Obviously for the equity shareholders, okay. It is very simple problem. Only thing you have to do is, as and when you write your unsecured creditors, you have to minus your receipts from the payment to check whether you have enough money or not. If you don't have enough money, we put it as balancing figure. If you have enough money, please pay to preference shareholders, equity shareholders, then divide the surplus and then close the problem, okay. I hope this is clear to all. One last note that you all can take down is P&L account and general reserve given in the question should not be considered in the problem, okay. So please write this as a note. P&L and general reserve should not be considered in the problem, okay. Problem is very simple. Try to understand the problem at least 2 times. Only then you will be able to understand it. Even after understanding twice, if you have any doubts with respect to any of these calculations, you can ask me. I will help you out, okay.